Alright, I'm trying out a new Whizzard deck, and I've had some success with it in previous games, but those were walkovers because the corp was not playing very well. So I didn't decide to feature them on my channel. Instead, we have this video, which is a closer battle. I'm facing up against a solid HP deck, which runs very, very annoying ice to deal with. And what is my Whizzard deck about? My Whizzard deck is basically one that leverages on the insane power of medium and nerf agent. So I have 3 copies of each to guarantee that I'll draw at least one of each in any game. And coupled with Demolition Run, which really makes full use of the multi-access granted by these cards. Following that, I'm running Scavenge, which goes very well with Overmind, which is the only new card that I'm using in this deck. The thing with Overmind is that it's great in Anarch because you want to get into those servers early. You want to place huge pressure with medium and nerf agent very early on. I was talking about this a while ago. I want to create an Anarch deck that is able to play aggressively and is rewarded for its aggressiveness early on in the game. And this is exactly how it does it. With an early Overmind, I can get into any server I want as long as I pay the price. And usually, most corps tend to play very cheap ice, such as Ice Walls, Quandaries. These are easily broken by Overmind and easily refreshed with Scavenge and Grimoire, which, if it happens to appear, gives me 2 more MU. Then I have Modded, which is a very solid economy/work compression card that allows me to install my medium, my nerf agent, and my Grimoire whenever I need to, without having to worry about number of credits. Because, as you know, Anarch, one of the greatest weaknesses of all Anarchs is the lack of money. KT is my main economic engine, but it's not that strong. And even base economy just doesn't work because this deck has no card draw. I'm including 3 of most of the important programs like Overmind and medium nerf agents so that I don't need to draw so much. I can find all the tools I need very quickly because my deck is saturated with all the tools, and I can just go for the runs after that. Unfortunately for this game, as you can see, I've drawn about, say, 10 cards or so, and I haven't found a single Overmind. So that is the one thing that is stopping me from getting through that remote server over there. Otherwise, I would be way through much earlier on. So I know it's an agenda behind there, but I cannot contest it at all. I mean, I can try to force him to rest that ice, but there's not much point. I don't want to waste clicks on something that's pretty pointless. I'd rather spend my clicks drawing up cards and finding my Overmind or whatever it is. And since he revealed a Toll Booth on R&D, that's my cue to parasite it down. Meanwhile, my KT has been doing great work. She's now at 12 credits, and since it's not NBN tag, I don't have to worry about tags that will trash my KT, so I can let her grow very big. Unfortunately, I need to worry about the remote server because he's just pumping out agendas left, right, center. So I definitely need to get in there now, but I still don't see any way through. Do I force him to rest the ice this time? I don't know, and I really want to use that Dirty Laundry in my hand. I don't want to trash it, because all the cards in my hand are worth keeping. The Retrieval run does great work if I need to ever retrieve a Morningstar, which could come in very handy against HP. I decided to mod in my York so that I could get through R&D. Since I'm a medium out already, if he scores the agenda, I'll be able to get through R&D and get some medium tokens. But turns out it's an Adonis, so be it. He creates a separate remote and begins Jacksoning up. And he ices R&D, so oh well, can't do much about it. One thing about Whizzard is that against asset-based economy, it's so good. In other words, it's very good against HB. I managed to trash his EVE campaigns at least once or twice at very little cost to me. That is such great help. But once he gets a secure remote server going with an Adonis inside, there's nothing I can do to stop that. I ran to R&D, I saw an Eli, and I clicked through it because I needed to get my medium on the board. I know I have a Corroder in my trash, which I can retrieve with Retrieval Run. So that's something I'm looking to do soon. It's not worth it paying 3 to install a program that just costs 2, but that's what you get for retrieving something from your trash. And once again, he shows me another toll booth, so that is pretty annoying. Yes, until now I still haven't found any of my scavengers or overminds, which is looking very horrible for me. And he's just growing richer and richer. He's not playing hardcore asset-based economy, as some HPs do. He has a lot of event economy as well. Hedge fund, show gamble, hedge fund, restructures, and successful demos. He really wants to get that money pumping. So good for him. I decide to install the parasite on that toll booth because toll booths are annoying. I need to threaten his remote server, even though I probably won't end up running on it. And I trash one of my demolition runs because it doesn't look like I'm going to penetrate through R&D anytime soon. Alright, he gets an agenda going. And on my turn, toll booth is destroyed. So now it's my time to strike into R&D. There's no way I can hit the remote right now because the parasite only has one token on it. So toll booth is impenetrable right now. Instead, I'll make my way through R&D by retrieving my corroder and first taking KT's money off before running and grabbing more credits. Alright, so now I get my second token and I get to see 2 cards. And because it's a dirty laundry run, I actually profit from it. Even though I spend 4, I gain 3. Well, that's not profit. Alright, I find my second agenda, leaving me at 4 agenda points. And if that is a 3-pointer, which it is, it sure is a 3-pointer, he has 3 pointers in his deck, so it means that I'm actually at match point 2. Unfortunately, his 3-pointer rests a Janus. So now that remote server is nigh impenetrable. Now here I make a huge mistake. What I should have done here was to demo run into the server. I would have been able to destroy the Victor, the Hedge Fund, and the Eli. This was the time to use the demolition run, but I completely forgot about it. So now I run again, but I only get to see 1 new card. Had I used demolition run instead, I would get to see 4 fresh freaking new cards. You have no idea how much I missed out on. That could have been the game right there. If I got to see 4 more new cards, that would almost certainly have gotten me to 6 points, if not 7. So this was a huge, huge mistake. And it really sucks because this is what my deck's all about. Demolition run, followed by a normal run to see lots and lots of new cards. You can't do anything as a corp about it. Yeah. And I just completely blew my opportunity to do so. And he reacts instantly by icing up R&D twice. So now my window for using that is over. And I'm completely sealed out of R&D. Because with 18 credits, he can rest any ice he wants. And in that remote, defending it is an Ash. So I can click through the Janus, suffer as much brain damage as I want, and I still won't access the card inside because it's an Ash. So now I'm screwed. I'm really screwed. And I see a Knight which does nothing against Janus because Janus is at 8 strength. He purges virus counters, and well, to make a hard game even harder for me, the Overmind finally arrives, but it's too late. I raid his hand, hoping that there's a 3-point agenda inside. Although, honestly, if there were one, he would have scored it by now. So, I'm not seeing much hope here. That's the only thing I can do right now to stop him from winning. So, well, there's nothing there. What can I do? He gets the remote going, and I know that this is game. I cannot get into that 2-point agenda in there. No way. So I just make a run, a final desperation run, or a server of my choice. I guess it will be HQ. We'll see. But yes, I sure have won the game with Demolition Run. In retrospect, what the corp should have done on that turn was to seal up R&D by putting more ice on there when he saw that it was vulnerable to me running through it the next turn. Because the toll booth died that very turn. So, yes, he should have secured R&D, and even if that cost him 1 more turn to pump out that 3-point agenda, that's what he should have done. But still, it didn't cost him the game because I was too stupid to realize that I couldn't use my demolition run, and he ended up scoring the agenda for the win. So yeah, I think that this is a viable archetype. Demolition run, medium, or nerf agent is still a very strong play, and really synergizes well with Whizzard. Yeah, you trash the assets with your 3 recurring credits, and anything else you can't trash, you demolition run your way through, and it solves the problem. Yes, it's not a new combination per se. It's been around in the game for a long time, but I think with some of the new cards like Overmind and Lucky Find for economy, Whizzard can do a much better job right now. Whether Modded and Scavenge are the right splashes for my deck, I still don't know. They are, after all, one-time users. What I rather have is some sort of recurring economy. A stronger version of Katie Jones. That would be really nice. But Katie Jones is as strong as she is right now. So, and do you have any suggestions on how I can improve my Enoch deck? Any forms of economy that I should be including? Leave your comments, and I'll ponder over it. Thanks for watching and happy net running.